Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode 195. This is a show where we talk about video games and gaming-related things. My name is Frank from Palm Manso, and I'm your host. And as always, I'm joined by the co-host of the show, Alex Nunez. What's happening, man?
Not much, man. I just noticed that this past weekend specifically that, man, people sure do love themselves a sale.
Yeah, a lot of things went on sale or were free.
Free? Really?
Yeah, there was a game that was free, or maybe it might have been free from this weekend up until like yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
As you hear this episode, I think it was Darkness.
Oh yeah, the Darkness too.
For Humble Bundle, that game was free.
Mm-hmm.
Since this past weekend, I believe. But yeah, there are a ton of sales going on that I noticed. I got to try to take advantage of some of that stuff.
Yeah, the reason I noticed was because I drive by pretty regularly my local Toys R Us, and they were having their big clearance sale, and my God,
boy,
have I never seen that parking lot that full. It comes close like around Christmas time, but yeah, this clearance thing was, everyone's coming out.
It's a shame that a big part of our generation is being lost.
Yeah, man.
To us.
It's such a weird thing too, going in there, especially getting games, because they had that whole paper slip system, and
I know. Oh my God, the paper slip system.
You'd see like the cover art on the thing in each slip, and then you'd flip it over to read like the back of the box, so to speak.
Oh my God.
Because you didn't have direct access to the boxes. It was so weird.
Yo, they were fucking doing that shit since like the early 90s, like with Nintendo and Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games. Fuck, dude. It's like completely huge nostalgia wave just hit me.
Right, just like throwing yourself back to that period of time, like, oh my God.
Like I just completely just went right back there for a second. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, man, it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, but they've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
I just didn't think it would happen, or at least this soon. And yeah, that's a shame.
End of an era.
Well, thanks, Alex, for starting the show off on a bummer.
Anytime, buddy.
Good job. It's what you do.
Yep. It's what I do. Hey, man, I just see stuff that's happening out in the world, and then I'll maybe say something about it. Good or bad, shit happens. I don't know.
Toys R Us. Yeah. Well, I've had a fairly interesting week.
Okay.
So
how much of that week has been comprised of Dragon Ball?
A good part of it. Of it. And the only reason why is because there's actually going to be a tournament for Dragon Ball Fighter Z being held at a Dave & Buster's near me.
Oh, okay.
And it's sponsored by Aim Hit Go. And
I don't know that I've heard of that.
Yeah, I've never heard of them either until the tournament. But I was on one of my Facebook groups, and they posted it, and I'm like, really? So what they're doing is that they have it's like they have fighting game tournaments every week, every Sunday, starting from last Sunday, as you listen to this, and it's going on every Sunday, I think, for the foreseeable future, or until they run out of games to play. Huh. So last Sunday, they were doing Tekken 7. This Sunday, coming up, is Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Mm-hmm. Next Sunday is Injustice 2. The following Sunday is, I think, it's not Street Fighter. It's another fighting game. I'm trying to think what it could be. I can get back to you.
Masters of Terraskasi.
Nah. Oh my God, dude. No. So I saw that and I'm like, hey, okay. This is a good way to kind of like get my feet wet for the tournaments. Mm-hmm. And it's also local play, and I might get to meet some people that I can play with more regularly.
Yeah.
And practice with and stuff. So, and the entry fee and the grand prizes are really like small. So I'm like, yes, this should be hopefully good. So I'm trying to get some buddies of mine from around here to come with me to, so we can train together to go to this thing and then, go farther or whatever. But no bites yet. So I've been practicing for this coming up on Sunday. So I hope I do well.
Okay.
And yeah, it's based on the amount of people that enter the tournament. That's when like the prize money goes up. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Hopefully it'll teach me some things, and I get to get a better idea of how the competition is around here and the DMV.
Yeah, it seems very hard to get local play going these days. So
yes,
anytime you can get that kind of experience, I think is only positive.
Yeah, I agree. And same goal. Don't want to go 0-2. That's my only goal. And yeah, so and of course, as you listen to this, there will be 2 more characters added to Dragon Ball FighterZ Z.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen anything on them yet, but I've seen like some breakdown videos on both Broly and Bardock, and Broly's kind of scary. Yeah, because he has armor on like a lot of his moves, a lot of the moves that give a player the advantage. He has armor on those moves, and I'm like, what? And then he also has like this shield that's like impenetrable that lasts for a little while, and I'm like, what? Then he can move with it, and I'm like, no.
Hey man, everything you're saying is literally Abigail. I've dealt with it already.
Oh yeah.
It's old news for me, but yeah, I haven't seen any breakdowns, any character breakdowns. I just the most I've seen of them is the dramatic finishes and all that.
Yeah. They did there was several people that have done like big breakdowns on Broly and Bardock, and Broly. He not only is he's straight up like Abigail in this game. Like that's how he is, even from everything from his size to his moves are like basically meant to tank you,
right?
And so Bardock interests me because Bardock is a brawler, and that's the type of fighting character that I like in fighting games. So I think I might try to form a team around him.
Okay.
Because he interests me. He looks really good. He looks like my kind of character. So I'm going to try to form another team around him. And yeah, I'm excited.
All right.
I'm excited.
You're going to drop Gohan then?
No. What? Are you crazy?
I figured I'd ask.
Adult Gohan is probably the best character in the game. Like, tier or just like in uniqueness. He's like the best character in the fucking game. No.
Yeah.
No. I picked him up before people even knew he was that good or realized he was that good. I have not. No. No, not dropping him. Still so many things. Still so many potential things. I'm trying to learn the lightning leg loops with him.
Oh, okay.
And I've gotten that somewhat okay, but doing it 1 out of every like 10 times is still like I could do better.
Okay.
So
yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah, it's also situational too, so it's kind of like you kind of got to pick your spots with it. But yeah, man, tournament. Hopefully, I can report back next time and see how I did.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, but yeah, that's what's been that's the majority. It's been the majority of my week. I kind of when I saw that, something just told me do it, and another something's like, all right, I'm doing it. And the other something's like, good. So
nice
tournament. I'm a little excited and I'm a little nervous, but I think I'll be all right.
That's just normal.
Yeah,
you're gonna be nervous.
Yeah, I mean, I've done tournaments before. It's just been a long time since I've done them. The last tournament I did, though, I won. I've done other tournaments since then, but I didn't do that great. But I was only in it because to support some friends of mine that were in it like hardcore, and I'm like, oh, okay, it was for Smash.
Okay.
But the first tournament that I ever took, like, not the first, but one of the first tournaments I ever took seriously, I won it, and I was like, oh, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, enough about that. So let's talk about some more video games. Unless there's something that you have to say.
No, not really.
About stuff. Okay, good. So so let's go on and let's start the show with talking about video games as we usually do. And you're gonna start us off, and I have a feeling I'm really interested to hear about this game because it seems like your kind of game, and it's just so ridiculous that it just might be great. So, So yeah, go ahead. What do you got for us this week?
Well, I guess before I start, do you have any pressing questions about Detective Pikachu that I can answer for you off the bat?
All right, I kind of know the answer to this question, but maybe for some of our listeners that have no idea that it was a thing or are curious, what is Detective Pikachu? Like, what I don't understand. Like, how did Pikachu become Detective Pikachu, and where does this fit in the Pokemon mythos? And is it like, what is Detective Pikachu? That's just a broad way of me asking that question.
Fair enough. So yeah, I didn't know anything. I literally knew nothing about this game going into it, other than it's got a talking Pikachu, and he's a detective, and he's kind of comes off as like a weird, like middle-aged old man.
What?
Yeah,
like Sherlock Holmes almost.
Basically, yeah. Well, he wears this Sherlock Holmes style hat, but basically, it's just an adventure style game, not unlike a Phoenix Wright game or something like that, where you're going around the environment, walking around, talking to people, and gathering information, and occasionally gathering evidence, and kind of putting all that stuff together to solve a bunch of mysteries that are going around. And yeah, the way that you're doing that is I don't know. I was at the very beginning, I was picking up sort of like a Ratatouille vibe, because Detective Pikachu is kind of the brains of the operation. And you're playing this protagonist by the name of Tim Goodman, who's a human being. And he has gone to Rhyme City, and he's looking for his dad, who's been missing for the past 2 months. And he, I guess, just stumbles into Detective Pikachu, who just so happens to be Tim's father's Pikachu. That is his Pokemon. So they know each other, sort of. But the twist is that now, for whatever reason, Detective Pikachu can talk to Tim, and Tim can understand Pikachu.
Interesting.
So it's not a Meowth situation where Detective Pikachu can just straight up speak English. Only Tim can understand Detective Pikachu in terms of human beings. But Detective Pikachu can also talk to other Pokemon, but Tim does not understand other Pokemon except for this one particular Pikachu.
Hold on, I'm a bit confused then, because you said that this Pikachu can talk, but is it a Pikachu that just says Pikachu, but it has like subtitles or translation for the Pokemon, or is it speaking English, but the only person that can understand this is Tim Goodman? Yeah,
like in the voice acting, Pikachu is speaking English. But again, the only human being that can understand him is Tim Goodman.
Got it.
He's the main character, yeah. So it's maybe like a weird Dr. Dolittle situation, except very focused on this one Pokemon. But yeah, that's sort of the premise of the game, and I don't know. I just dig the whole character of Detective Pikachu. He's, again, middle-aged old man. He loves drinking coffee.
What?
Yeah, he's weirdly into human ladies, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. Feels very Japanese thing. Like it happens in a lot of those games. I'm like, sure. Like the sidekick companion, is always trying to talk you into flirting with these girls, and the main protagonist is like kind of shy and like not about it. I'm like, I don't know about that. That doesn't seem right and whatever. But Yeah, that's the sort of tropes that they're leaning off of. But yeah, like the gameplay is you basically walking around these different environments, and it's split up into chapters, and each chapter takes place in a unique location and situation, and every chapter has like its own little unique mystery. And I sort of like that each chapter ends in a sort of like Scooby-Doo like confrontation, where you gather all the people involved and you're like, all right, I'm breaking down the evidence, and you basically point at the culprit, and then you kind of see them squirm as they try to, worm their way out with the lies, and then you present to them with the evidence of like, hey, you're full of shit, here's why. And it's I don't know, man, it's a weird thing. And it's weird. It's even weirder that it's taking place in the world of Pokemon. But they do a pretty good job, I feel, of like in inserting this sort of weird, mundane, Columbo-style storytelling in the world of Pokemon. Like it sort of all fits weirdly. I don't know if like Rhyme City is a city that you visit in one of the other games, but
it doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, there's a lot of representation from a lot of different Pokemon from like all different generations. So there's plenty of Pokemon that I recognize. There's plenty of Pokemon that I don't, because I've kind of skipped a lot of Pokemon in the middle. I was there in the beginning, and I checked out Sun and Moon, which is the most recent one. But yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon, and it's kind of cool because like you have a unique ability in that you can kind of talk to both people and Pokemon with the help of your buddy Pikachu. So you can kind of gather testimony and other things like that from other Pokemon that are in the area that, normal human beings don't get access to. Okay. But yeah, the whole thing, I don't know, I guess because it is a Pokemon game, it does feel a little bit kiddie at times. Like there's situations where the adults in the room are super incompetent. I'm like, God damn, I am but a child, and I have to teach you how to solve these fucking mundane ass puzzles. I'm like, really? This is there's one part where you're in a Pokemon like research facility filled with supposedly very brilliant minds of Pokemon world, and there's one researcher who's trying to concoct like some medicine, and they want a very specific color of medicine. They want orange. And there's like different colored berries that they have access to. And she, for the life of her, cannot create orange out of there's like 4 different berries. There's like a blue berry, there's a red berry, there's a green berry, and there's a yellow berry. And like out of those, how do you make orange? And I'm like, seriously? You, a Pokemon researcher,
blue and green,
cannot figure out that red and yellow make orange? Like, Jesus Christ. Come on. But yeah, it's that sort of thing. If you can, but that also doesn't happen like super often. But there's when it does happen, I'm like, God damn it, this is it skews just a little too kiddie for me. Like I'm fine with like dealing with like stuff aimed for kids, but when it's very much deliberately aimed at children, I'm like, that's when it's like a little weird for me. But because it takes me out of it, because you're like, this is so goddamn brain dead simple.
Yeah. That's how I feel with Kirby games.
Yeah.
All of them. Like, they're extremely childish, and they have the potential to be like, I mean, they have great gameplay mechanics, but because of the childish aspect of it, I'm like, oh God, I can't.
Right. But yeah, that's like one example. I don't think later on, like when I was getting like past the halfway point of the game, it didn't feel as like super simple anymore. But also like because it is a kid game, it's not going over the same territory as like something like a Phoenix Wright, where all the cases in those games are like murders. All this stuff is not murder. It's weird conspiracies and stuff like that. And the most of the story is about you kind of chasing down these people making this sort of like this chemical weapon for Pokemon that just makes them go berserk. And you're trying to shut that down because that's what your father was investigating when he suddenly disappeared. And the theory is that he disappeared because he was investigating that thing, and the people that were involved were like, we got to shut this guy up. But yeah, it's overall, I enjoy this game a lot. The graphics are fucking gorgeous in this game. This is a 3DS game, and holy shit, like everything looks fantastic about it. Like just in motion, the cutscenes, it looks really good. Something about like the character animations and the models reminded me a lot of like Kingdom Hearts, weirdly enough.
Oh,
just like the big eyes and the round faces and, you know, the animations, with the facial animations, especially in cutscenes, it's very much reminiscent of those games.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot of like quick time events too when like big action things are happening. So you sort of get to play that, but it's mainly just like mashing the A button or timing button presses. So it's very simple in that regard. If you fail, you'll maybe get like a quick like a cutscene of you failing, but then it quickly just fades back to the moment at which you failed, so you can try again. So there's not a big penalty if you do mess up or anything. There was a cool moment in the game where there's a cameo from Ash's Pikachu. I was like, oh that's pretty cool. I liked how that went, because yeah, like I think you ran into a Pikachu on the street, and Detective Pikachu talks to the regular Pikachu, and you gloss from the way that Detective Pikachu is responding, because obviously you can't understand what other Pikachu is saying because it's just Pika Pika. And yeah, like Detective Pikachu was like, oh hey, that's cool. Yeah, I bet your partner is trying to be the best there ever was. That sounds great. You know, good luck with that. And I'm like, oh shit, that was pretty cool.
The Pikachu.
Yeah, it's the one, and it has the regular voice actor and everything. So,
cool.
That was a cool moment. But yeah, it's like also like Detective Pikachu. He's sort of suffered a bout of amnesia, so he's forgotten some things. Like I guess in the period of the thing that you're trying to investigate. So he doesn't know how to use moves is one of the things. So you can't like use him as like a trainer battle or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's like out of the this game doesn't handle anything like that. There's no battles or anything. Trying to think what else. There's one thing I want to hold off for the very last thing I want to say about the game, but yeah, like again, overall, I had a very good time with the game. The story was pretty good. Voice acting is also mostly good. There's a couple of times where it felt very much like, I don't know, early 90s, late Saturday morning cartoon. A lot of people saying blast when they should be saying like damn or something like that. I'm like, okay, but
curses.
Exactly. But other than that, the story is pretty good, except for the bullshit ass cliffhanger ending at the very end of the game.
How long is the game?
I looked at my 3DS time and it was about 15 hours for me. I don't know if it counted me having the game in suspend mode with like the lid closed or whatever. But yeah, it was about 15 hours for me. I know it's 9 chapters, and like I want to say on average each chapter is about an hour and a half long, give or take. Some chapters are longer, some chapters are shorter, but that's about the average. But yeah, I beat the game and was very disappointed by the goddamn ending, because it just feels like they want to make this into a new franchise, which I'm fine with, but finish the fucking story that you were telling in the beginning. Like literally the thing propelling you throughout this story, they leave off. They don't answer it and put it off to the next game. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. That is bullshit. God damn you motherfuckers. Shit.
Sound almost angry about it.
I kind of am. Because like very early on, it seems very obvious what is going on because something is not quite right, particularly with Mr. Detective Pikachu. And they kind of telegraph it pretty obviously, but you would think it's tied to the greater mystery of like, you know, Tim's father and everything, like what's going on with him and where did he go and the whole thing with the disappearance. So a lot of that stuff is tied together. But like a lot of what I was thinking was like, I want to get to the end of this game so I can either confirm or deny my theory. And they're like, nope, fuck that. We're going to do that in the next game. Maybe if you buy enough copies of this one.
I see.
Suckers. But yeah, that's my only gripe really with this game is cliffhanger ending. Very unsatisfying. But other than that, it's pretty cool. If you like those kinds of games, like an adventure game, it's not a lot of action. All the action, again, is in quick times and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of fun putting together all these mysteries and figuring out stuff as it's happening. Like the whodunit aspect of it. There's a couple times where they're like, okay, it's literally the last person I would have expected did this thing. And yeah, they do a pretty good job of pulling together one of these mystery type games. So I liked it a lot.
Okay. Well, you answered a question that I had, because I thought Detective Pikachu was like the Pikachu that we know.
Right.
Like Ash's Pikachu, and like for some reason now he wants to go out and solve mysteries. He just feels compelled to go out and solve mysteries.
Because why not?
As if he's... Yeah, exactly, because sure.
He's like Mario. He could do everything.
Yeah. Because, I mean, sure. So then I was kind of wondering, because there's a Detective Pikachu movie coming out, right?
Right.
Sound pained.
No, it's just yeah, okay. I remember. Like, I don't know. There's so many things coming out. It's like supposed to be movies and TV shows, but until I see a trailer, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to. So, do you think, like, with this game, do you think that they're kind of like leading into the film with it? Because I think the movie's supposed to come out like this year. But like, do you think they're leading into the film with it somehow, or do you think like at least that they could be able to pull the film off with this game finally coming out, finally making it out there? I
think the former would probably be true, that they're hopefully leading in to the movie with the story from the game. Because if they're just redoing the story from the game and have the same cliffhanger ending, we're just running into the same problem all over again. I'd rather, if they're doing it, than them kind of resolving the storyline from the first one, or from this first game. But yeah, I don't know what their plans are with that. But that's what I would like to see.
All right.
If not another game with that same resolution.
With closure.
Yes, please. I need to know. Spent 15 hours. I need to know now. Feels bad.
All right.
Oh, and
Detective Pikachu. Who would have thought?
I know, right? Apparently, they also have like amiibo functionality, but it only works specifically with the Detective Pikachu amiibo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think the only thing it does is it unlocks these Pika prompts. Because when you're in the environment and running around, you can, whenever you want, you can talk to your pal, Detective Pikachu, and he'll give you some like weird blurb. There's a series of detective tips as he have, and they're all numbered. He also has coffee tips and information and stuff that you can also get from him. And I think like when you go to the main menu, you can see all of the different Pika prompts that you've unlocked, some of which are pretty funny, like him trying to remember how to do some of his moves. He's trying to do like quick attack, and he's not very fast moving, so he just like quickly sort of stumbles over himself, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's I weirdly liked the Pika prompt aspect of that game, because I think also when you like meet new Pokemon, sometimes you'll get a quick cutscene with him interacting with those Pokemon, and it's kind of funny, like him trying to outshout a Loudred. Which of course he lost, because nope, you can't beat a Loudred. But yeah, that game is silly, but an enjoyable kind of silly.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you, man? I feel like I'm gonna ask you, but I already know the answer. Have you just been playing more Dragon Ball? Is that what we're gonna be talking about again?
Well, I think I've broken my streak. So of course, yes, I have been playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. But, I said at the beginning of the show, the reason why I've been playing it more now is because of tournament. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, I actually had time to sit down with another game.
Oh.
And I was like, what? So
what is this weird feeling?
Yeah, I know, something different. So, I got the chance to pick up Devil May Cry HD Collection for the PS4. Now, I would say not to be confused with the one for PS3, but the moral of this story is that it's literally the same game. It's the same game, the same 3 games that come with it, the same collection. There's nothing different. Menus, everything the exact same fucking thing. So, I feel like I could end it there, but but I will just embellish a little bit and say that I played the first game in the collection, which is Devil May Cry, which is one of my favorite games ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to see like, oh, okay, let's see it upscale to 1080p now instead of 720 like the PS3 one was. So, yeah. I know how to play that game with my eyes closed, both hands tied behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't really lose a whole lot going through the game. I beat the game in one sitting.
Jesus.
It took me about like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
To beat the game. Still classic for me. I love the boss battles. I love the different kind of combat that it introduced for its time back then.
Mm-hmm.
Devil May Cry introduced a new genre to video games with its style of play.
Yeah.
And that being able to shoot and swing your sword against enemies, which was really cool. And then when you get the Ifrit gloves, that was a different change of pace. Now you could fight and shoot, and it's cool, man. And no game like it back then.
Yeah.
And I think it started off as a Resident Evil game, and you could definitely see the elements of it too.
Right.
And they were like, let's do something different. And that's that Kamiya for you. It's like, let me do something different. And yeah. So
changed the game.
Yeah, literally. Literally, he changed the game with it's literally and, figuratively, he changed the game with Devil May Cry. So I in going through the game, I just want to say the game looks gorgeous. It's not much of a huge step up from Devil May Cry HD Collection for PS3. Yeah, and I believe we mentioned before that we had thought that the game did also come with Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, and that's not the case.
Okay.
So it still only comes with Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 Special Edition. So, yeah, I don't know what more there is to say so far. I did try Devil May Cry 2. And it's still Devil May Cry 2, so...
Is that the one with the diesel jeans sort of
yeah,
thing?
That's the one. That's the one. The diesel outfit and the weird other... Lucia, the weird other character that you could use. And then you could unlock Trish. And the thing is, Devil May Cry 2, I'd say the only thing I liked about Devil May Cry 2 was his outfit. That's the best outfit he's ever had.
Okay.
In all of the games. But that's literally it. It's just awful.
Oh, man.
It's just terrible. I'm like, what were they thinking? And Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition I haven't tried yet on the PS4, but that is probably still the best one to date. I give it to 1 for nostalgia reasons, but Devil May Cry 3 as a whole is a much, much bigger, better package of all the Devil May Cry games released to date.
Okay.
4 wasn't bad. 4 was really, really good. In fact, so much that Kamiya designed Bayonetta around 4's mechanics. And yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Devil May Cry... I still got chills whenever I fought one of the bosses. I loved that Alistair. I love that you had to pay a high price to use your weapons, your melee weapons in the game. Alistair stabs you through the chest and fucking Ifrit burns you literally burns you so much you feel the fires of hell before you can use them. And yeah, Nightmare Beta takes life away from you. Yeah, man. Sparta, I think Sparta, yeah, you fucking had to kill your brother. in order to use Sparta. So
Jesus.
yeah, because you had to combine the two pieces of the amulets together that you shared, and then that's when your regular old Force Edge weapon turns into Sparta, which is its true form.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I liked that whole thing about the game. I like the boss encounters. Like Alistair kind of like warns you that like a boss is approaching, which is kind of cool because it starts to like kind of pulse with electricity, and I'm like, this is so awesome. I loved all of this. And yeah, the bosses themselves were crazy. Phantom and Griffin and Nilo Angelo and Nightmare. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, I say if you have the Devil May Cry HD collection for PS3, you don't need to bother with this at all. Mm-hmm. Unless you're a really, really huge fan. And then sure, yeah, get the one for PS4 because it's just, it looks slightly better than the one for PS3.
Kind of surprised you didn't just get it on PC.
Yeah, man. I should have just gotten it on PC. But I don't know. Like, I still could. But the thing is, the games, you know, did come out for PlayStation, so I felt like I needed to kind of keep it, you know, where it all started. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I was really interested to see like, oh, how does this work on PS4? Is there anything different about it? I should have just read up on it, but I probably wouldn't have purchased it if I had known a little more information about it. But I'm a Devil May Cry fanboy, so I'm like, oh man, I gotta get it. It doesn't matter. So yeah, Devil May Cry, still a fantastic franchise. I believe as a whole, yeah, it's done well. Even DMC, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I want them to release this DMC sequel at some point because I enjoy DMC a lot, and I'm hoping that, I don't know. I just wish they put a little more work into this one. Just something like, yeah, put 4 special edition in this one as well.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
You know, that would have made a lot of sense because that was just an opportunity for them to do that here. But yeah, and there was rumors that there was another Devil May Cry coming. They said they might announce something at E3 this year. I don't know. I'm hoping it's 5 or DMC 2. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to see either. But it feels like, I don't know if they got a lot of like bad feedback from DMC because of the old, you know, original Devil May Cry fanboys just were like, no, this is not my Devil May Cry.
They ripped it to shreds. Yeah, they ripped it to shreds. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad what they said about it. But I don't know. I didn't really have any problems with that game. I mean, there were some cringeworthy moments in it, but I mean, in Devil May Cry itself, it had like a ton of cringeworthy dialogue, and it was super cheesy. Yeah, especially for its time, it was super fucking cheesy. So you can give it a pass. But yeah, all in all, I'd say it was a worthy pickup for me. But I'm a super fan. If you're not a super fan, if you're just a fan, I'd skip it because it's this. If you probably already have it in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. So. Yeah, controls are the same. There's no difference. It's the same games, man. Man, it's like they don't even try. And we'll be talking about something similar to that a little later today. Okay. With this show. But that's all I have to say about Devil May Cry HD Collection for the PS4. All right. So, all right. So let's move on. Usually we'd move on to headlines, but we have one more game that we want to talk about. And so, Alex, you should take it away because you know, it's kind of like your turn now. So go ahead. Okay.
So yeah, we got a chance to play A Way Out, which is that new Joseph Fares joint. And yeah, it's that co-op, you kind of breaking out of jail game.
Prison Break.
The game, yeah, exactly. Except like in the 70s or something. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, we played, I don't know, a couple hours of that game. Mm-hmm. We haven't finished it, but we did get out of jail. Success.
Yes. Now we're in the woods somewhere.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a cool thing that they did where you only need one copy to play this game co-op with somebody online, which I thought was
I appreciated that.
A very cool
really
thing.
Awesome.
So I bought the game, and I think I don't know if you bought the game or not, but at the very least.
I just got the demo.
Okay, yeah, so you just download the trial, and as long as you're linking up with a friend who bought the game, who owns it, then you can play the full game with that person, which is, again, pretty cool, especially if coming from a company like EA who's publishing the game. I was like, very good of you. Way to go. But yeah, we did some co-ops. I think they do some interesting things with the way they handle the co-op, because it's almost always split screen. You see whatever your other co-op partner is doing at the same time that you're doing it.
Yep. So like even right down to when you're having conversations, I like that they kind of lower the volume of, if you're having conversations at the same time, let's say like if both of us are talking to NPCs, they like lower the volume of the other person.
Yeah.
And your conversation is louder on your end, which is kind of cool.
Or if you just wanted to, you can just eavesdrop in on the other person's conversation.
Yeah. You can just watch and listen.
Or while you're doing, I don't know, a bunch of chin-ups and just mashing buttons and shit.
Or dips. Yo, that shit is fucking hard. Like, it is. Goddamn, like as soon as I got to like 15, I'm like, nope, I can't do it anymore. It's too much.
I like how I did them, and then as soon as you started, I'm like, you're like, oh, this shit is easy. I'm like, dude.
when I got to, it was easy then I got to like 9, and I'm like, oh shit, it's getting harder.
Yeah, I somehow made it to 15. I would have made it to 16, but at that point, I just started cracking up. Like, this is fucking stupid and ridiculous. Why is this taking so long?
In the game, you can, like we said, you can do like exercises. Like while you're in jail, you can do these exercises, and the way to do the exercises is to basically press the prompt button, like
just
a lot.
Mash it. Yeah, as fast as you can.
As fast as you can, and so. Yeah, I'm not sure if it has an indication on like if your character gets tired, if you go faster, if your character gets tired sooner or whatever. But I was feeling it hard after like 9. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Not happening.
But yeah, I don't know. It's the game. I think is doing some like sort of novel things with the way it's handling the co-op. But I don't know. Like I don't know if I'm in love with the story or anything so far.
Yeah, I agree. The story seems a little basic.
By the numbers, almost.
Yeah. It's like very predictable. Like, you know, man in jail has a vendetta against other guy outside of jail and needs to get out of jail to get revenge on this other guy. And it just so happens this other guy in jail has a vendetta against the same person. And they have to work together to... And it's like, okay.
They just so happen to be neighbors in prison, so.
Right.
Okay.
Like, all right. Like, we've kind of seen this before.
Right.
But something I do appreciate about the game is that it seems a little handholdy, but I don't mind it. Like, I kind of like that they're kind of like literally like telling you like what to do and how to do it. And it's kind of like really forcing you to work together with your partner, you know, and it's not in a bad way. It's like we have to work together. Yeah. Because if we don't, there's no way we'll progress at all.
Yeah. I feel like they did that because I don't know. I feel like in the nature of a lot of co-op games, because there might be a lot of crosstalk between you and the other person playing, like you might miss like an important detail if they're explaining something specifically through dialogue or through a cutscene or whatever. So it's kind of handy that they put like in the corner of the screen, like, hey, this is your goal. This is what you need to do. And all right, that seems simple enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And even right down to some of the split screen size changes. I really enjoy that too, because it seems like that if there's something major happening on one player's side, the camera or the screen will widen for that player and it will shorten for the other player, and it will cause you to like bring more focus to the person that occupies more of the screen. but doesn't mean that it takes away fully from what's going on the other half of the screen, or the other, I guess at this point, other fifth of the screen.
Uh-huh.
You know? So I really like that. So it kind of like tells you like, hey, maybe you should really pay attention to what's going on here, because literally going to make the screen take up more space. So you're not going to have much of a choice to kind of like, you know, you can't like just ignore what's going on over there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a cool stylistic approach that I really liked in the game.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of it is going to crop up later in the game, but I think there was only one instance where we basically had to agree on a specific choice in order to progress through the game. Like we had escaped jail, and we had come upon a bridge, and we're like, okay, how do we get past this? Because there's a bunch of cops and shit on the bridge. Mm-hmm. And I think before we even got the choice, I was like, yo, I want to steal that car and take it over the bridge.
and I think you did. I think you did it as like, you said that as like kind of like a, not even a suggestion, but kind of like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I could do that?
Right. Yeah.
And the game actually offers you the choice of doing that. I'm like, oh shit.
And then I think the other option was to like go underneath the bridge or something. And I was like, I mean, both characters basically had offered a choice, and we both had to agree. And if we did not agree on the same thing, it had to be a unanimous decision. Otherwise, I don't know what would happen. Stuck. I guess so. Yeah. But
I think we'd be stuck, and I think we'd have to come to a conclusion on that.
Which is also, I thought it was just a cool thing to throw in there, like, all right, we need to, you know, we are being forced to work together. We are hamstrung together, and we must make it through this. So we've got to make sure we both agree. And I guess you could have like some conversation trying to talk the other person into doing the thing that you want.
That's very possible. That's very possible. That would have kind of offered something a little different too, because then we'd have to kind of like convince each other to. Which would have been kind of cool. I don't know. Now I'm kind of interested to see what would happen the next time if we encounter something like that again.
Right. Yeah.
We should deliberately pick a different choice and see what happens.
Yeah. I was even thinking like after the fact, like what would have happened if I didn't just floor the gas when the cop came over to the car, because because there was like a stealth indicator kind of over his head, and I was like, oh shit, the jig is up, and then I just didn't think about it, floored it, and then eventually crashed the car through the cutscene. But yeah, I don't know.
I thought that was a part of the cutscene that you floored it, but I didn't know that you actually like did that yourself. That's cool.
I was in complete control of that car the whole time on the bridge. Like I was steering it and everything.
That I was aware of. I just didn't like when the cop started like the stealth indicator that has been used in many games as of recently. When that started like rising, you know, I thought like, okay, you know, what's going to happen? And I thought as it kept rising and the guy kept getting closer to the car, that the game just kind of took over. But I didn't know that it was you that did that. So that's pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, I mashed that accelerator. I was like, let's go. But yeah, like I very much want to see this game through. I've been hearing some stuff about the ending. I don't know anything specifically other than people are saying like, what? So yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I want to see it through at least. So hopefully we can.
Yeah, I do too.
Get that done
too. We should definitely continue that, because I'm kind of digging the game. I like the co-op aspect of it. You know, we had fun choking out some people.
Yeah, I think you enjoyed that more.
Yeah, I enjoyed that way more. Like I was the one that wanted to kill every single person.
Yeah, I was kind of
there. Well, not kill them, but just dispose of them.
Right, and it was kind of funny because like the first time the game offers you that opportunity, you didn't just jump at it, and then you're just like there waiting. I'm like, what was he waiting for? So I just went and took the dude out. I was like, what are you doing, man? You just went? I was trying to assess the situation.
Like, yeah. Like, nah, I'm just gonna kill them all. But yeah, so like, yeah, there was also that one part where there was like a bunch of cops like waiting, like with their lights on with the car. And I'm like, oh, they need to die too. And then it turns out that there was no way we needed to go over there. And I'm like, all right, fine, I'll let them go. But I'll be back.
I don't even know if we could go over there. I'm not sure.
I didn't think so. But I was just, I don't know. I tried a little bit, but it seemed like the game was forcing you to go and to go to the right, which was where we were supposed to go anyway.
Right. But yeah, it's fun. I don't know. Breaking out of prison was an experience, you know, people acting as lookouts and shit and swapping tools off to each other.
Yeah. I like the little stuff like that is what I really like about the game, where it's like they're really saying like we have to work together. Like we have to work together, because if we don't, we're not gonna get far at all.
Although this was pointed out somewhere else, and I was like, I didn't think about that at the time, but yo, where does the poop go on those toilets? Because
right,
we just
like what the fuck? There's a vent behind the toilet, but like where's the piping? Like you could just like slide the toilet and the floor is just there. There's no piping at all.
Right, it's just
like
there, and there's nothing behind the toilet. It's just like another room, basically.
Yeah.
What like?
So I'm just thinking, I'm thinking it's a huge oversight.
Yeah.
Or maybe it might be one of those things where they just like. It's like a toilet. It's like a toilet in appearance only, and it's basically like a plastic bag. And I guess the officers come and pick up the bags.
Gross.
Or you pick up the bags and put them outside your cell at some point or something. It's weird. Because I didn't detect any water running at all. So
there's definitely no pipes behind the wall behind your cell.
Nothing.
Oh man, but I don't know. It's a fun, weird experience. Story wise, I'm not so sure about it yet, but
yeah, the story seems really basic. But I do want to like see like all of the, you know, maybe there are more creative co-op methods or different co-op methods that we can employ.
Yeah,
by getting further along in the game.
Yeah, that seems to be like the standout part of this game is just how they handle the co-op and how you work together with your partner and stuff. So.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I would definitely say that this game definitely play it with another person. I know you can play it by yourself, but
I don't think you can play it by yourself.
Person.
You
can't?
No, you have to play co-op.
What?
It's either local co-op or online co-op.
Holy shit! They were really like hitting that hard.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you could play it by yourself and the AI would take over. Okay,
I'm pretty sure you have to play with another person. Which is why I think they did the whole, like, you know, game trial with your friend.
Right. All right. So yeah, that means you have to play it with another person. I guess it's the only way. Oh, cool.
But hey, I don't know. I was having this thought. I'm like, what if I Sherpa'd people through this game since I have a copy? And if you don't want to buy this game, I'd be willing to play with you later on since I have it. And yeah, you can enjoy it for yourself. With me, so I don't know. Hit me up if you're curious about this game. Maybe we can work something out. But yeah, I think I don't know unless you have anything else to say. I think that's been our time with A Way Out.
Yeah, so far I'm definitely interested in more. I want to see because you were telling me the game's not very long.
I think we're like halfway through.
Yeah. It seems like it is. Yeah. It seems like that's where we are. So
we just finished season 1 of Prison Break. Now we're into season 2.
Season 2. We got to go back to prison.
Fuck.
That's really not what's happening right now in the game. No. It's just that's how Prison Break wound up.
Yeah.
They just kept having to go back in,
but to new prisons.
Different prisons. So yeah, but yeah, I enjoy the game so far, and I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So we're gonna move into headlines now, and before we do, please go to innercitygeeks.com where you can follow along with us in the show notes for this episode. So, how do I start this? I'll start from the beginning. So first up. So I was just talking about Devil May Cry HD collection, how it's literally the same game as the PS3 version. So there was a Zone of the Enders remaster that was announced, and we got our first look. Like it's going to be remastered in 4K, and we got our first look at it a while back, and I remember that they were really like pushing for the VR version of this game.
Yeah.
So the game was supposed to come out, I believe, around now, and it got delayed. And we actually have a release month for the game now. And with the release month announcement, there is a video. And the trailer is a 4K comparison trailer, both comparing this version to the 2009 Zone of the Enders HD remake and to the original Zone of the Enders, which came out in 2003 for PS2, which at that time pushed the PS2 to its limit. I think like the game looked gorgeous then.
Yeah.
And fucking shit, it looks like ridiculous now. You know, with the comparisons. So this HD remaster is only for the second game, not the first game. So it's called Zone of the Enders: The Second Runner, and it has a subtext of Mars, but the A in Mars is upside down, and that's supposed to signify VR in a way.
Sure, okay.
You're really pushing that. So yeah, I'm totally getting this, and I've actually been thinking, not because of this, but I've been thinking, I'm like, maybe I should upgrade my PS4 to a PS4 Pro. Because I want to play stuff in 4K too, even though my computer can handle it.
Right.
And it's good as coming out for PC. So hey, maybe it's just. But I do want to upgrade my PS4 to a PS4 Pro. But that's the story for another day. But in any case, yeah. So this game is coming out for PS4, PlayStation VR, and PC in September of this year. So yeah. Not sure how much more I can say about it. If you watch the trailer, the comparison trailer, you're going to see huge differences. And most of them are with the cinematics in the game because, again, it's hard to capture like the exact same player movements between videos of the three.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think it's like a pretty huge jump from the PS3 version to the 4K version, the PS4 version, PS4 4K version. So, and a game of its style and its graphics and its art style. Once again, I'm gonna triple dip. Because I still own the Zone of the Enders HD collection for the PS3.
Right.
And yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to take a look or you're interested in getting this.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this version of Zone of the Enders. I skipped on the HD collection just because I don't know, wasn't that big of a jump. But if I can get this on PC and maybe eventually dip into like virtual reality or something, this might be a cool test thing to do with it. Put myself in the crotch of Jehudi.
Yeah, that's right. Put yourself in the penis cockpit or the cockpit or just the cockpit. So yeah, no, it's the VR aspect of this game to me, it holds a lot of potential for something pretty awesome. But I'm just hoping that it's not just like, you know, basically boiled down to a gimmick at the end of things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always the fear.
Yeah, but Zone of the Enders remaster, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
so,
seeing that fucking art style of that game in that quality, god damn it,
it's amazing.
Jesus Christ, that one.
It's fucking amazing, dude. And like I said, back in like 15 years ago, it pushed the PS2 to its limit. The HD remaster came, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, at that time. And then this remaster for the better game in the series. I don't even call it a series, but there's only been 2 games. But
wasn't there like a third game, something side spinoff or whatever? I don't know. Yeah, it's true because like the characters are completely different, and but even Jehuti, I'm like, how come his color scheme is different now? But yeah, I'm super excited. Zone of the Enders 2 is an amazing game in its own right, like so fucking good. Yeah,
and I'm I'm all for it. Hopefully, I don't know. I just want a third one. Come on.
Now I'm curious what they're going to do with the anime cutscenes, because how is that going to get scaled up to 4K?
I don't know. So going back to the Devil May Cry HD collection real quick. So that's a thing. That's a thing again where it's like the same fucking thing where like the CG cutscenes were like left like, you know, because they can't upscale those. Because those are already rendered.
Yeah, at best, if they had the original like files, I guess they could re-render them at high res, but that's a lot of work.
Yeah, like they could have like redone them.
Yeah,
but that's a lot more work.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so I don't know. I think like the anime cutscenes in Zone of the Enders HD collection were also left alone. Like they weren't redone or anything.
Right.
Like. They didn't look like shit like CG renders would, but you could tell they looked a little dated.
Yeah.
As far as the resolution at least.
Yeah, because they're still like DVD era video files.
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. I think those are just going to be left alone. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Zone of the Enders 2 is the only one that had anime scenes, which is this game here. The first game didn't have any anime cutscenes. No. Actually, no, it didn't. It didn't have any anime cutscenes.
Yes, I think it was pretty much like Metal Gear Solid, like almost all real time. It was
all in game.
Yeah.
Yeah, all real time in game. So they were able to up-res everything, you know? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us somehow, but I'm not expecting much.
Right.
Konami hasn't been that proactive with their products.
What are you been talking about? They revived Metal Gear Solid, where everybody thought it was dead. They put zombies in it, and now it's back, baby.
They did not revive any such thing, like at all. So yeah. So stay tuned for that because I'm excited. Mm-hmm. So next up, I wanna move on to something kind of important. So there was a thing that was announced not so long ago called Super Smash Bros. For the Switch, right?
Uh-huh.
So they're holding another Smash Bros. Invitational at E3 this year. And this Smash Brothers Invitational will feature the Smash Brothers that is coming to the Switch. Alongside, they'll also have Splatoon 2 tournaments as well at E3. So the thing is, now people will get to have first crack at this Smash Brothers game on the Switch. The question will be answered: will it be a port or will it be a new game? And I don't know, like I'm still kind of like in the middle on this because if they're already like, you know, saying like, oh, you know, we can do the Smash Bros. Invitational on the Switch, it's like, well, that could mean that it's just a port and they're just porting it over, but it could still also mean that it's a brand new fucking game. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. Like I'm glad that the question will finally be answered, but yeah, that's happening. So we'll know in June, the middle of June, if it's one or the other, or if they make an announcement before then we'll know before then.
Okay.
But they are holding a Smash Brothers Invitational tournament, and so they have like, you know, top players coming out that are invited, and then, you know, people also get to compete against them or against each other with this new game. And yeah, still the question hangs above everyone's head. Like, what is it?
Oh, well, let me help you then, because I can answer that for you. It's a brand new game. You're welcome.
How do you know?
I just know.
I don't know. It could be a port, man.
I just know. It's a brand new Smash Brothers game. Smash 5, baby.
How do you know?
I just know.
Where are your sources?
I am my source.
Okay.
I'm a first-hand source.
So we still don't know. No, but yeah, it literally doesn't answer any. It still could be one or the other. Mm-hmm. You know, because in the past, for example, like for Mario Kart 8, right? Or Pokken tournament, they said, oh, There's a new Mario Kart. There's a new Mario Kart 8 coming to the Switch. It's a port of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Pokken Tournament. Pokken Tournament DX now coming to the Switch. It is a port of the original Pokken Tournament on the Wii U.
Uh-huh.
You know, but with additional content. Same thing with Mario Kart 8, additional content. So, you know, like,
hold on. I just had a crazy idea. What if this new Smash game is a port, but it's a port of Melee?
Oh, God. No, it wouldn't be a port of Melee because they have, like, new characters and shit, man.
Uh-huh.
Like new characters. Well, if you mean the game system, if the game system is more like Melee, then that would be fucking insane.
Be like them going back.
But it is the game that is most like desired.
Right.
In the Smash community.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, we'll find out in June. Or maybe before June. With this announcement, it might have kind of set things into motion. We're like, all right, we got to tell them, like in May, what it is, so that no one's blindsided. Either way.
What if they just keep it a surprise all the way until launch, and you have to find out by going to the store, like, what is this? Is this a new game or is this a fucking port? God damn it! Please tell me.
But no, there's no way they're gonna make that many people. I don't know. There's no way that many people won't disclose any information on the game, because I'm pretty sure at E3 it's going to be a fucking madhouse for this invitational. So I'm pretty sure someone's going to fucking spill the beans and just say like, hey,
they should just frog fractions this shit. Just release it as another game, hide Smash in it, and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I have these crazy conditions to just unlock it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But again, also in addition, they'll have Splatoon 2 tournament at E3 as well. Not sure about any prizes, but yeah, I'll be there. So I'm going to try to see if I can get to play whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll hopefully have a better idea. So, all right. So moving along. So Switch. More Switch news. So Hori is making a new left Joy-Con, and this left Joy-Con has a new D-pad. But there are like mad caveats. Like, like it's a left Joy-Con, but it seems like almost in spirit only, because you can only play with this left Joy-Con in portable mode, and there's no vibration function. And also, it's only available in Japan for right now. Mm-hmm. It will also only be available in Japan for right now. Also, no gyroscope, and there's no SL or SR button use, or a player LED light. So this thing is kind of like a husk of what the left Joy-Con really is. But they're making another one. So they're making a different one. So I guess, I don't know. It doesn't seem all that worth it to me.
Right.
And it also hasn't been announced for North America just yet. But still, it's something. Something, I guess, to replace your malfunctioning left Joy-Con if you still have one of those.
Without the full functionality.
Exactly. You won't get anything. They have to basically like strip it bare.
Oh, man.
And say like, here's a shell.
Mm-hmm.
And the face buttons work, but the shoulder buttons don't work. And the shoulder buttons don't work. There's no vibration, no indicator, no LED, no gyroscope.
Yeah.
So, all right, good luck. At least it has a strap. Actually, it doesn't look like it has a strap. It looks like it's just a fucking...
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know. Are you does this interest you at all? If it does come over here?
No, not really. I don't know. It's just, like, I guess I understand the desire for a D-pad on the left Joy-Con, but I also understand the practical reasons why it doesn't exist, because you can separate the Joy-Cons and use them as, like, on their own controllers. So you sort of need those 4 individual buttons, and if they make it into a D-pad, Like it can't be like your typical, like, I guess, disc-based D-pad where you can, because on a traditional D-pad, you can't press like up and down at the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel for some games, like maybe there's a need you might have to do that. It seems pretty rare that you would need to do that on like the 4 face buttons, but if you wanted to do that, you can't do that with a D-pad. So unless the D-pad buttons are like separate buttons, not like connected to each other, then sure, okay, I get it. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, I don't know if a lot of people wanting the D-pad are not thinking about that specific use case, but yeah, that would be my main concern with like a D-pad on that Joy-Con is can I press all the buttons individually at the same time if I needed to, and in all the weird button combinations just to be on the safe side. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bug me. I don't have a Switch yet anyway, so no skin off my back.
Word. So, all right. So moving on to our final article of this week. So, Hajime Tabata, who was the director of Final Fantasy 15, were taking over for Tetsuya Nomura before he stepped off to move to Kingdom Hearts 3. He's going to be the head of a new studio within Square Enix, and the studio name is Luminous Productions, and he apparently has plans to make new AAA games and more innovative games within Square Enix. And he's bringing along a lot of the team that worked on Final Fantasy 15 with him. And he's interested in doing like completely new IPs. And, they want to bring everything they learned and developed for Final Fantasy 15 along with them. So yeah, that's all for now. I guess the thing with the studio is official. So with Final Fantasy 15, with how that turned out, I'm hesitant. I don't know. Final Fantasy 15 was not good. It was horrible, actually.
But you played the incomplete version, Frank. Now it's done. It's finished now. It's got all the pieces.
I don't care. I stopped caring a long time ago because Final Fantasy, it could have been really good.
Uh-huh.
It could have been really, really good. But you could tell, like, with different directors and the fact that the game was rushed to be finished, even after 10 years of waiting. It showed big time. But it had a lot of good things going for it. And I'm not going to say like a lot of it was his fault or his team's fault, but then again, they did finish it. So I felt like, I don't know, I feel like anything that they work on from the beginning maybe has potential, but I'm still hesitant.
Yeah. I mean,
about what it is.
My interest is certainly piqued. I like new things. I like new experiences. And if Square is giving him the reins to do something all on his own, but still like sort of in-house, I don't know. It's interesting just that Square would let that happen, because they, for the most part, have seemed pretty much like, all right, let's just grind out all our core franchises and occasionally maybe spit out something else. But they've been doing, I think, similar stuff with Tokyo RPG Factory Company, but it doesn't seem like the games they've been putting out have been doing super well anyway. But they don't seem super inspired also. So I'm hoping what this project is at least more inspired than what has been put out in the past so far. But I haven't played Final Fantasy 15. I don't know anything else that this guy has done, but just the fact that they're willing to do something new and are taking risks, I am a fan of. So I'm curious to see what comes of this.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. So yeah, that'll about do it for headlines this week. And we are going to move into our next segment, which is new and upcoming releases. And Alex is going to go ahead and take us through what we can look forward to for this week. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, so this week we've got a bunch of stuff. The week of March 27th. First of which, Far Cry 5. It's here. You can get that for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Also out this week, Injustice 2 Legendary Edition for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This is pretty much packages all the DLC characters up until this point in one,
including the Ninja Turtles.
Cost-effective package. Yeah, man, you could have just waited a little bit. You could have got Ninja Turtles and everything all in one.
Yeah.
Also out is Batman: The Enemy Within Episode 5, Same Stitch for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
You know what that means.
I believe this is the season finale.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time now.
Yeah, you liked that first one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was so good. Mm-hmm. It was so good. So I'm gonna, now that all the episodes are out, I'm going to be getting into that sometime soon.
Nice. We've also got this week The Witch and the 100 Knight 2 for PlayStation 4, D-Generation HD for the Switch, Outlast 2 for the Switch, MX vs. ATV All Out for PC, Pix Arc for the Xbox One, TT Isle of Man is making its way to PC, The Alliance Alive is out for 3DS, Trove Heroes is available for Xbox One, Warp Shift is out for the Switch, Bit Dungeon Plus is out for PS4 and Vita, Long Gone Days out now for PC, Roller Coaster Tycoon Joyride out for PlayStation 4, Tempest 4000 is out now for PlayStation 4, Atari Flashback Classics of Volume 3 for PS4, Cluster Puck 99 is out now for the Switch, Dodge Club Pocket for the 3DS, Gotcha Racing 2nd for the Switch, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Bad Dudes is out for the Switch, Reverie for the Vita, Streets of Red Devil's Dare Deluxe for Switch, Tengai for Nintendo Switch, that's the full title, is out surprisingly for the Nintendo Switch.
For the Xbox One.
And The Adventures of Bertram Fiddle Episode 1, A Dreadly Business is out for the Switch. Then we've also got a couple of Friday releases that you can look out for. First of which is Alteric for the Xbox One and Switch. Code Realize Bouquet of Rainbows out on Friday for PS4. As well as Code Realize Future Blessings for the Vita. Farm Expert 2018 for Nintendo Switch. For the Nintendo Switch. Because I don't know.
Is this a thing? Are they starting to do this now?
It's like a weird. You know how a lot of like Super Nintendo games had like Super in the title?
Yeah. And like 64... Super Metroid, Super Castlevania, Super Contra. Yeah.
And then the 64 games had just like random 64s at the end of them.
Yeah. Super Mario 64.
This seems like the bad version of that.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna slap for Nintendo Switch on the end of all these Nintendo Switch games.
Why don't they just say Switch, like 10 Guy Switch or Farm Expert 2018 Switch?
They're not even trying anymore. I don't know.
They just want to make sure they make you understand what this is for. Uh-huh. Goodness,
like it's not already patently obvious what the fuck this thing is. Jesus.
Oh man.
Anyway, also for Friday, we've got Shadow Bug for the Switch, and finally Space Hulk Ascension for the Xbox One, all coming to you on Friday. And we've also got a sort of beta coming up this weekend for ARMS. They're having a test punch starting Saturday, March 31st, and that is ending, I believe, on Tuesday, April 3rd for the Nintendo Switch. And I think this was announced on their last Nintendo Direct, where they've got some new fighters maybe, or some new stuff that they're throwing in the game. So they're throwing out this test punch so that even if you don't own the game, you can kind of download it on the Switch and check it out. Sort of like a free demo sort of thing, but also they're gonna, I guess, test server stuff and how the new gameplay stuff works out. So yeah, if you've been ARMS curious on the fence, you can definitely check that out this weekend. And other than that, that's gonna wrap it up for all our new releases this week.
All right. So thank you for that. And that means we are done with this episode. So before we officially go, we would like you to visit innercitygeeks.com, which is where we're located and where we have a bunch of stuff sometimes regarding everything geek. You can listen to our episodes on our YouTube channel, it's Good Games Podcast. And while you're there, you can subscribe to us. And it's just another place where you can listen to this show. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you can leave us a review. It's the best thing that you can do for us. Just let us know what you think of the show and let us know how we're doing. You also can listen to us where all podcasts are available to be listened to. So iTunes is not just the only place, it's other places too. And I also want to encourage everyone that if you're going to do any kind of Amazon shopping, that you go to innercitygeeks.com first and click on the banner on the right-hand side of the page that clearly says Amazon. And then when you do that, it'll take you to Amazon whenever you're going to buy your stuff. And then when you do that, a little bit of that will come back towards us so we can provide more show and more content just for you. You can reach us on all the social media outlets, mainly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Inner City Geeks. The Twitter for this show specifically is at Good Game Podcast. And you can also email us at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. And so that's going to about do it for this one. We're going to say goodbye. And in leaving, as always, we say, good games, everybody.
Good games.